wrote. He said there's not a difference between fascism and communism. We work with all of it. We are creating a fusion of it.
But they merge, once they're socialists, then they merge in regions. So we've got all the regions being set up. Gorbachev called the European Union the new European Soviet. And now the regionalism is communism. And that quote is in my book. Very interesting quote. Look it up. Morris Zeitlin, he's a communist, wrote the Communist Daily World in the 70s. He said the United States has got to go have more regional government because it worked so well in the Soviet Union. It's going in now, folks, all over the place with sustainable development, dropping borders, getting rid of elected officials. Don't forget, charter schools don't have elected officials. So you're paying taxes to run these charter schools, which use a federal test.
And all it really is a globalist school.
Yes. And those schools, 60% of the federal test is attitudinal, how they feel about the environment, what they think about the UN or whatever, do they believe in God? 60% of that test that the charter school students must take, because it's a federally funded entity, is political. Now, remember this.
So they remove true education about issues and about ideas and about science. It just all turns into pablum, so the kids are good little robots, and they burn that time up not really teaching them. We'll be right back with solutions. Stay there, Charlotte. Final segment straight ahead with our guest, then News Blitz coming up. All right, it's our final segment with Charlotte Iserbyt. And again, we're selling the book. She has the old big thick version up for free on her website and just didn't want to deal with the hard copy anymore. And people convinced her, hey, this is important to have a hard copy of. They can shut stuff off the web really easy. So she's put out a new updated, abridged, revised, shorter one. It's only 450-something pages long. It's excellent. And every teacher, every educator, needs a copy of this, because then everything will make sense to them. And it has all the documents. I mean, she was the head of policy. That's the #2 position at the Department of Education. She's published the documents where they admit they want a global Soviet system run by the mega elite. They want to shut down all their competition. And you notice everything we warn you about keeps happening because we've got all their documents. That's what's so frustrating about this. Charlotte, you were getting into a key point there as we went to break. Please continue.
Well, I don't know where I was on that one, Alex, but all I can say is, because we don't have much time left, I want, first of all, the reason for the book is that I felt it had to come out at this time. I think that book is really very, very important. There are many books out there, but this gives you not just education history, but the history of the insiders for the beginning of the last century, or even going back into the 1800s. It's the Federal Reserve. It's everything else, too, that's in there. What happened? Disarmament, blah, 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 go on. Ronald Reagan signing the agreements with the Soviet Union, and the Carnegie Corporation role in agreements with the Soviet Academy of Science. All of these things, and again, I will say the conservatives got to understand this. I hate to say it, but you have not been informed of these things because the conservatives, let's call them neoconservatives, not Goldwater people, they have been infiltrated, the Republican Party badly infiltrated by the left. So you've got both parties are left and are, you can call them either socialist or Marxist or fascist. Doesn't make any difference. Both parties are controlled, and that's why we haven't been able to get this information out. What I want you to do is don't get discouraged. You've got to keep fighting. And the reason I say this is there have been many, many people, and I gave a lot of credit to these people in the beginning of my book. I've known them. Some are dead, etc. They, the insiders, expected to bring us down, certainly in the 80s. The 1976 200th anniversary, we were meant to be basically going down. We didn't. We're still here. If those people had given up, the ones that you and I know, and a lot of us oldsters know, they're gone now, magnificent Americans who fought for freedom, for the Constitutional. If they had given up, I wouldn't even be on this program today. And Alice wouldn't have a show. So you cannot give up. You have to keep fighting this battle. And the tool to fight it, I think, because of course I love my own book, is my little book. And it's smaller. You can't complain anymore about it being, you can't take it on vacation. It weighs too much. Now, the other thing I want to say is there's only one person out there that we can vote for the Republican Party. There's only one person. Absolutely, there's no question about it, and it's Ron Paul. It is ridiculous what's going on now. It's evil what's going on right now. They're doing to him what they did to Goldwater back in the 60s when they had that film of the little girl in the field with the poppies and the bomb going off. They're going to do that to him, too.
Yeah, they're saying we'll get nuked if you elect Ron Paul. Same thing LBJ did.
Right. So, look, folks, we've got good stuff out there now. We've got Ron Paul. I'm going to keep fighting. Alex is great. He's going to keep fighting.
Well, Charlotte, as you know, 20, 30, 40 years ago, almost nobody knew about this stuff because it was so incredible. You mean that their tyrants want to slowly take over? Now it's all coming to fruition. Yeah. The crop is coming in. We told folks what those plants were going to grow. Before I was born, you were warning people.
That's right.
And then now we see, this is tyranny they're setting up. I've never seen such an awakening happening. Now, some are awakening. That's happening faster. But others are getting deeper into the trance, and you cannot reach them because they've been so damaged by the brainwashing, by the chemicals. But it's never a majority that turns things around. It's an evil minority or a good minority that are going to decide the destiny of the human species, and our minority is swelling. We are much bigger than the criminals.
The young people are so important. Let me say to you, don't waste time on people my age, really, because they are so pathetic with their golf clubs, their retirement. They are pathetic. I'm sorry to say it. Maybe there are a few out there who aren't, but don't waste your time on them. Put your time into the young people getting out of high school and college. Get in there, just like Ron Paul said. There's this huge awakening among young people. And you know what? The schools may have done a good job, like I pointed out earlier, with 80% or whatever of those college students. But I don't believe it's all that bad. I think that the young people really are beginning to understand that they have been had. And so focus.
Well, you know they create a fake consensus with all these fake polls. They've now, it's even, quote, mainstream news that there was fraud all over Iowa, just as we said 2-3 days ago.
Yeah.
It's just that it's so brazen, Charlotte.
Yes, it is, and I think that's why I think the young people know this. And the other thing is, Ron Paul really is the anti-war candidate. And if he was smart, that's what he would run on, even though he's anti-Federal Reserve and he'd love to get rid of the Department of Education. He's the only one who's really mentioned that, isn't he? His platform is superb, and they say it's kooky. Oh, wait a minute. Look, I always love it when people call me a kook. You know why? And I tell them, thank you. Because the greatest Americans and people in the Soviet Union, etc., Solzhenitsyn, all these people who cherished freedom were called kooks at the time. And so if someone calls you a kook, thank them. And say, you put me in really good company. I'm in with Solzhenitsyn, I'm in with all these great people who fought for freedom.
Well, as you know, Charlotte, a doodle dandy was the biggest insult the British could give each other. And I don't want to tell people what it means, but it's a slang.
Yeah.
But you know what? We said, good, we're going to have a song called Yankee Doodle Dandy.
That's very interesting. Good for you, Alex. I didn't know that. But, the thing is that is Brock Chisholm. That's all those guys, Alger Hiss in 1945 at the UN who said they're going to use psychiatry, to get rid of our conscience. These are the people who said we're crazy, see? We're crazy because we think. And because we know that war is wrong, but we know that sometimes you have to take a stand. But they don't want us.
No. They teach us to not be warlike so they can wage war on us. They say, truce.
That's exactly what we are. Our military is nothing but the United Nations military arm. To parole the whole world has nothing to do with protecting the United States.
And the good part for the globalist is when they do all this imperial evil and the massacres, their own globalist media tells the world about it and then blames America, and then we're domestically told it's great and everybody loves us for the future destruction of this country politically.
Absolutely.
The globalists are such masters that they have America doing all their dirty work. Rupert Murdoch's publications will badmouth the war and stuff overseas, but then domestically he's all for it. And again, they know exactly what they're doing. They don't play by any rules. The book is available at Infowars.com. With deliberate dumbing down of America, a new edition, a smaller edition. It's been out of print for a year, available at Infowars.com. And Charlotte, thank you for putting the book back out. I know the big, thick one is free on your website, and Give folks that address as well for people that can't afford the softcover.
Okay, it's deliberatedumbingdown.com. And you can just go there and you can read it on the internet. It's a big book to read on the internet, but please, that's why it's there. And AmericanDeception.com is also a free website for all the documents to back up.
And let's be clear, when you send a friend or family or teacher the email with the link, people don't tend to appreciate something that's free. It's like, here's all this work, it's free, please warn people, here's the total blueprint of the enemy operation in education. This is what, yeah, you say the schools, George Carlin said they want you dumb. Well, here's the proof. Yeah, George Carlin's right. Here's their own criminal blueprint, all put together for you, all sourced. And tell people, you better look at this. But most people will still appreciate a book. So if you do buy the book, it's like, here, I read it. Here it is, school teacher. I've got the most important parts highlighted, or to your school board or whatever, because most of these people are not evil operatives. They have grown up multi-generationally in this,
yeah.
And now it's getting so deep. Charlotte, look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Well, thanks a lot, Alex, and keep up your good work, and Happy New Year to all your listeners.
Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Bye-bye.
All right, there goes Charlotte Thompson Iserbyt, the book, Deliberate Dumbing Down of America, available at Infowars.com or by calling 888-253-3139 here at our office. You can also write to us at P.O. Box 19549, Austin, Texas, 78760. We also have the Everything Special. We're calling it the New Year Special. I've never had a deal this good, but we're going to keep it running for the rest of the month because it's getting the word out. All 18 of my films on DVD for $99.95. All of them. Obama Deception, Fall of the Republic, Endgame, Terror Storm. $99.95 right now, normally 360 smackers. And your funding of this operation allows us to continue and hopefully expand. And we're really working hard here, as you know, because we understand this information is too important. I mean, I separated some ribs, cracked some stuff, dropping a big weight on myself last weekend like an idiot, doing incline weight, just slipped out of my hands. I was going too fast. It came out. And most people would be in bed right now. And I'm not whining about it. I'm not doing some great service being here. Wild horses cannot drag me away. I mean, I want to do productions. I want to make films. I want to get the word out. I want to warn people. I want to stop these people because it's so frustrating to know these are wanton evil criminals that use psychological warfare and false reality systems that they've taught people to get a lot of good men and women out there to not even ever become conscious human beings and to be mind slaves to these globalists and carry out all this evil. I don't even hate their minions anymore. I used to really get mad at minions of the system, and now I'm just like, man, it's frustrating. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I live this stuff. I read documents till I'm blue in the face. I understand how the system works. I understand that most people are not bad. And I understand this a lot more than even some of their high-level people, because they're all compartmentalized just doing their sector. They're trained to do it, they do it. And I've gotten to the level of a master architect understanding of the overall integrated systems of how they run this thing. And let me tell you, it doesn't look like it's human built. I'm not into space aliens, reptoids, any of that. I'm just saying it's hard to believe that humans would actually consciously be trying to set this up, because they're trying to screw up the planet. They're trying to splice every animal and every plant and creating abominations that are already causing irrevocable problems. They've already got a lot of the key species dying out, honeybees and things like that. It's other top scientists I've had on. It's like, they say it's like it's space aliens that want to destroy the Earth or something. And then they know that we're concerned about this, so they take over the environmental movement and make it an anti-human, anti-carbon